Okay. So, we talked about this at the beginning of the last session, but I'll do it again since you missed it. Add 1 to your honor, because I was thinking about the -1 for betraying Jessa, or...
Jessa, yeah.
Rotha.
Rotha.
For betraying him. When I was thinking about it, I realized honor is about social capital. So if nobody knows that you did something, and nobody cares that this person disappeared because he's a nobody, it doesn't matter.
Okay, fair enough.
Boy, technical difficulties.
So, when we start, how long has it been since the last session? Because I was still at 2 harm, so...
You said it was the morning after, that it was like 3 days later or something, so we're sort of we're like 2 days away from...
Yeah, I'd say it's about 2 days away from
the council.
The council. Let's say that Torin he's healed his 1 harm at this point, because it's just 1 harm.
Beatrix still at 2.
Yeah, we healed 1 from your treatment, so you're going to stay at 2 until you take some longer convalescence. It's hard looking at that. I want you guys to know.
Keto cretins.
I know.
Both of you.
So before we get started, I got another one of these little short fiction things to read. Basically disconnected from the players directly, so it sort of just informs the world.
Weave us a tale of words.
Ahem. They have offered to commute my sentence to beheading if I share the details of what I have learned, as if that were not the entire point of the endeavor. Knowledge requires sacrifice, and knowledge that could help us understand the threat that the Blight poses to humanity requires great sacrifice. I will not starve my fellow man of that knowledge simply because the men who will kill me lack my vision, my will, especially now that the price has already been paid. All 3 of the subjects were placed in identical cages, and by means of a simple wooden crane, the cages were moved across the border of the Blight by approximately 10 feet. The subjects elicited no immediate reaction other than the obvious fear and panic. Each in turn attempted to force open their cages, but quickly gave up as they realized that such a thing was futile. All subsided to a state of passivity within half an hour. As with previous experiments, the border of the Blight seems a barrier to sound. I could hear nothing from them, and they gave no sign of being able to hear me. Subject number 3 was the first to react, 1 hour and 17 minutes after the beginnings of the experiment. His mouth distended as if screaming, while his limbs jerked spasmodically. This continued for approximately 3.5 minutes before he collapsed. 2 minutes later, he suddenly stood and stared at me, unblinking, until subject number 1 succumbed 17 minutes later. Subject number 1 underwent a nearly identical metamorphosis, as did number 2 a scant 5 minutes after him. All 3 assumed a motionless, lidless vigil as I observed them in turn. My intention was to keep watch for as long as possible to note any changes, but I was able to do so for only 9 hours. At that time, all 3 abruptly turned, looking further into the Blight. I could see nothing, but I mounted my horse as a precaution, and that is what saved my life, at least temporarily. A group of at least 10 camouflage reavers burst out of the underbrush and chased me off. While I was saddened to lose my notes and my equipment, the experiment proved to be a tentative success. Children react to the Blight in the exact same manner as adults.
Nice
From the
time.
confession of Dr. Alphonse Middleton, executed for the kidnapping and murder of 22 men, 15 women, and 3 children. Oh, thank you. So, just some notes before we start. Nobody has used any honor moves yet.
Yes.
Start burning your honor. It's
Yes.
fun to do. You wrote it real big on your notes, huh?
Question.
Yeah.
Are those like luck moves?
Pretty sure this...
No.
What's that?
I actually haven't looked. What page are those on? I actually haven't looked at those.
I
They're
have
quick reference, peripheral, and honor moves.
Do
Yeah,
you
it's
know
in the
who I
quick
am starts on 43.
There's more.
Here, check out this sheet here.
There's just 3 of them,
Just
right?
hand it back when you're ready.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on your...
It's do you know who I am, call on your faction, and refuse an obligation, duty, or debt.
Right.
And just remember that you can make an honor move without spending honor. It just, you don't get the bonus to it. And they can go back.
Yeah, I have 9. So
Okay.
Cool. Alright,
Why
So-
the hell didn't I use these when I was getting the shit kicked out of me?
Yeah, that might have been a good time.
Yeah, because I was rolling like a 6.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you were rolling 6 on everything last session.
Yeah.
So.
Well, at least I got a level up out of it.
Yeah. There's a bright side.
There was a bright side.
To all your bruises.
Yeah. Yeah, and Beatrix feels them.
Yeah, it's the rib that's going to give you trouble for a little bit.
Yeah. Gonna have to do a lot of workarounds.
Drink your milk.
Well, I meant in terms of keeping up the business, but yes.
Yeah. I can see that being inconvenient to that sort of thing.
It's alright, it's something she hasn't had before.
I'm sure. Rough trade.
It is a rough trade.
All right, let's see. So the council is in 2 days, let's say. I want to start off with Gozar, because he wasn't here for our last session. And I believe you've just been called by Auntie Hilda to come see her. So, to remind everybody, Auntie Hilda is the leader of the Thornberry clan. She is the matron. Gozar is the oldest living male with any line, claim to the line, but he's nowhere near. He doesn't have Auntie Hilda's prestige.
He's what's her name? Nefaria. Where does she fall in the family?
Nefaria is Hildy's daughter.
And she's older or younger than you?
Older.
Older.
Yeah, just
Not
a
by
little bit.
much, but like a year
Yeah.
or two probably.
Yeah. Yeah, she started in the business young.
Did I catch her name, or did she introduce herself when she...
I can't recall. I'm going to assume yes. Yeah.
If
sure
we can
she
just
just-
retcon that in, just so I know. Because I would have included that in my...
Like, let's assume that even if she didn't give you her name, you asked around and you found out.
Okay, because I would have included that in my report to Proctor Cavix.
Mm-hmm.
Who's behind it?
Yep.
Okay.
So let's see. So Auntie Hilda has called you to come see her.
Okay.
I assume you report promptly, or do you
Yeah, I
dally, or what do you do?
I think I'm gonna go quickly. If I remember correctly, too, wasn't I supposed to? Oh no, because I already met. Yeah, so I'll go. I'll go see Auntie Hilda.
Yeah. Okay. I think Torin was still expecting an answer back on how Beatrix
Yeah, I have
managed
to
to
go.
cross the blight, but I
Yeah.
think that's a work in progress.
Yeah.
That answer. All right. So you go to see her, and she accepts you into her little drawing room, where she conducts all her business meetings over tea.
Poisoned tea?
Hmm?
Poisoned tea?
Generally not. She's drinking it. And she says, Goza, dear, come in.
Hello, Auntie.
Oh, how you doing today, kid?
Not too bad. I hired somebody for the family business.
I saw that. Apparently she's doing very well in the bookkeeping.
Good. I knew we needed somebody there, so
Good looking out.
I'm always looking out for the family, Auntie.
What have you been working on lately, aside from
Um,
recruiting?
Well, I can't say I had a call, but I got a messenger from Torbjorn or Torin or whoever it is. The
Lord
king-
Torin?
Yeah, Lord Torin.
You know, the big cheese around here?
Yeah, Lord Torin.
All right.
I've
yeah.
gotten hit in the head a couple times.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I've gotten hit in the head a couple times.
Yeah, I know. It's a hard knock life, but I'm sure you'll adapt.
Of course.
You're a sweetheart. Anyway, what did Lord Torin want?
Well, he wanted me to find out a little bit about Beatrix and how she was able to walk through the blight.
Beatrix. Why does
Yeah.
that name sound familiar?
She's the cookie.
And she picks up a notebook she has and like licks her finger and gingerly swipes a page across, licks again, swipes a page across. Ah, the Beatrix that's down by and she describes the location of Beatrix's.
Yeah, that's her.
Interesting. What was Lord Torrens' interest in her?
Well, supposedly she found a way to walk right through the blight, and I think he was interested in finding out how.
That's good to know.
Mm.
It's very good to know. She takes out a piece of paper, scribbles something down real quick, and then she picks up a bell that's sitting on the table, rings it, and one of the pages that works for her comes and takes the message. Thank you for letting me know that we potentially were going to cause some problems for her that would have in turn caused some problems for us, so that's good to know that she's got the eye of Lord Torren and we should stay away. Thank you for letting me know.
I agree.
So, are you aware that there has been a council called?
I don't think so, no.
Well, there has. It's in 2 days, up at the keep.
Okay.
Lord Torrens called for it, and I will be in attendance. Normally I would bring Nefaria along to this, but I believe she's tied up with, some of the follow-on work that comes with one of our establishments burning down. So I don't want to take her away from that. There's a lot to be done.
Of course,
so,
yeah.
in her stead, I'd like you to come. Do you think you're up to that?
Wait, you want me?
You're gonna have to be on your best behavior.
That means I probably shouldn't talk then, huh?
Sweetheart, I told you, your voice is gonna come into its own when you get a little
Torren
bit
made
older.
fun of me and told me to be quiet.
Well, here's the secret about the Lord of Fallcrest. He's kind of a dick.
I did kind of notice that a little bit.
Yeah, so don't you worry
All
none
right.
about that. You're a sweet boy. You're a good boy.
Thanks, I really appreciate that.
And now that you're getting older, I want to show you some more of the business, and not just the money-making part, the political part. You can't put a price on that stuff.
I would like that.
All right, so you'll come with me when we
course.
go.
What time?
And she gives you the time.
Okay,
It's Lord Torren, when did you want the council to start?
6 a.m. promptly.
6 a.m.?
Good lord.
You are a dick.
Is coffee a thing?
No.
Oh man, that's
No,
cool.
I think coffee was a thing at one point,
Oh, yeah.
but it was imported, so now it's dried up. And the people who relied on it, they've been hurting for the past few months. So yeah, you probably did that just to fuck with those people, didn't you?
Well, yeah, just to make everyone on edge, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So 6 a.m.
Wow.
6 a.m.
6 bells.
Ding, 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 ding.
Well, I meant like church bells. But...
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. I thought it meant like naval bells. Because it's bell, midnight is 1, 12:30 is 2. That's what threw it.
I thought it'd just be like midnight would be 12, and then 1 o'clock would be 1.
So how many bells in a day?
Well, it changes over between midnight and noon.
Mm.
And then there's one on the hour, I think, and one on the half hour, I don't remember. It's on the days.
You're the worst sailor.
Yep.
He wears that proudly.
I wasn't the worst. Honorable discharge. Woohoo!
Yeah. There we go. Nothing to fuck with your employment.
That's right.
Okay, so after that, she lets you go, because if you're following up on something for Lord Torren, she wants you to devote yourself to that. But what do you do from there?
So I don't piss off the Dick King. I'm probably going to go back and at least give him an update on what I've found so far. That it's going to be a little bit. I have to go through some
Okay.
spiritual ritual crap.
All right, so you go to call on Lord Torren. All right, Lord Torren, are you available to
That was it.
for Gozar? What time did you go see Auntie Hilda?
Did Gozar, have you even met with her yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They
Yeah, we
met.
fucked.
Yeah. I was gonna say I was gonna do that a little more delicately, but yeah, they fucked.
Well, I have to have a contrast with my character.
Let's say it's around just after lunch.
Okay.
Are you available?
Yeah, just you can wait in the solar.
The solarium.
Yes.
Reginald, I shall meet you in the solarium.
What? So it's around. You said around lunchtime right now.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting in the solarium. Do, re, mi, so, fa. No, not there yet.
He's gonna wait until about 3 o'clock.
Just keep him waiting for
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you hang around?
Hang around saying do, re, mi, fa, so for 3 hours.
Nice. All right. So he'll summon him to his study.
Good afternoon, Lord Torin.
Good afternoon, son.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
I wanted to give you a... Sorry, it's been working on it the last 3 hours. It's gotten a little bit better.
Not quite.
Getting there. Do, re, mi, fa, so...
Okay, you can just tell me what you want.
Yes, I wanted to let you know I was speaking to Beatrix, and it wasn't too forthcoming. I have to go through some spiritual bullcrap to figure out how she did it. So it may take a little longer than I had hoped, but I am on the right path, and I at least wanted to give you an update of what was going on.
I'm going to spend my hold, which I can do at any time.
Oh!
Now that you've said that,
Fucking forgot about that.
must spread knowledge, fear, or worship of it.
It's your choice.
Your
though.
choice.
No, it's their choice.
Oh, it's their choice. Which one it is?
Specifically their choice.
Oh,
So
so
is
you
it-
get to choose.
I can choose it for NPCs,
Knowledge,
is what we discussed.
Fear, or
Yeah,
worship.
that's cool. I like it. I like it. That's really
so
cool.
This whole religion thing that
Yeah.
your character can pick any of those three to put a spin on.
I'll probably go knowledge, because that's one of the things that House Thornberry is pride itself on, is knowledge.
So drop some knowledge.
Having knowledge is the problem.
Have a seat.
What was it? Knowledge,
Knowledge, fear, or worship.
Alright, I'm going to try my best at knowledge here.
Okay.
Um,
Well, just remember that, like, your character knows more than you do about this because you had a long conversation with Beatrix,
that I
both
personally
before
don't
and
remember.
after. So, like, yeah.
So to keep it in context, 'cause I don't remember everything. I'm gonna basically tell Lord Torrin pretty much everything she told me. I do think this could work. It's just gonna take a little while, unfortunately. She seems smart. Like you said, she walked through the blight, right?
You're gonna make me repeat myself?
Sorry, she walked through the blight, so she seems like she's capable. It's just that I have to spend a little more time with her and gain some of the knowledge that she has and the knowledge of her god and things like that.
Yes. I want you to go deeper.
Well, not that you want to know, but I can go deeper.
Bravo, bravo.
You've been waiting this entire conversation to deploy that, haven't you?
To pull it out?
Oh man.
Time to go balls deep. Whatever,
Deep
whatever,
cover assignment.
whatever you like, sir.
Do you have anything else?
No, sir.
How's your aunt?
She's very well, sir. She's looking forward to the council.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So her and Nefaria will be attending.
No. No, Nefari is unfortunately one of our properties burned down. So she's busy taking care of that, so Auntie's chosen me to come instead.
Oh, you owned that. What
Hmm.
happened?
I wasn't there, it's just Auntie told me it was a fire. Nefaria will probably know more than I do. I haven't spoken to her.
Oh, okay.
But,
Well, in your next report, why don't you tell me what happened?
of course, sir, yes, and I will see you in 2 days for the council if I don't see you before.
Oh, you'll see me before.
Okay, yes, I will see you before then.
Thank you. On your way then.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Okay, did you have anything else you wanted to accomplish? All right, we'll switch scenes here. Beatrix,
Yes.
you wake up and you're not feeling great.
No.
Breathing in deeply is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And overall, you've had a shitty couple days.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the last when I was working my way up into the royal court of the Second Son, and I had to at one point take on as a client their chief information extraction officer, and he had some really eccentric interests that coincided with his work, which is why he was so good at it. But it left me a little worse for wear, and it was a little while before I could pick up another client after that.
Right, and this is why I didn't want somebody playing the screw, because that's just gross.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that particular officer was a screw.
Well, deaf. All right. So you've tidied up a bunch of the damage that was done by Nefaria's goons. And you're bandaged as best you can be. It's just going to take a little time to heal. So what do you want to follow up on? Because you have a bunch of different things going on. You got a lot of irons in the fire. What's of interest to you right now?
Well, I'm going to assume that either Ivor hasn't come by yet.
Not yet.
Okay. So I've already kind of done my rounds, and so I have a pretty good sense of who Nefaria is and how she's related to the Thornberries.
Yeah, if you've asked around at all, I think you would have been
Yeah.
able to find that information.
Okay.
Is that she is the daughter of Auntie Hilda, who's the leader of the house, and you know, you might want to be careful around here. Is kind of the word on the street.
Yep. So, because I'm still recovering, I'm not going to be engaging in kind of like my usual duties of trying to, like, you know, build the individual sanctuary rooms or tending the little courtyard. So I think that what Beatrix's kind of first instinct would be is to I don't want to say do a little marketing, but I think that at this point she recognizes that there are informal institutions around town, like Nefaria, and that it's probably in her interest to find some way to not necessarily protect herself with one of her own, but maybe get a little goodwill out there to try and build some popular support.
Okay.
So I think that what her first stop would be to she should probably ask around and see if there are any like refugee like settlement camps, because obviously she's well aware of the danger of the blight. And so maybe like on her way there, okay, so on her way to the blight, you know, when I wrote the prelude thing, you know, she probably got some sort of, you know, she found some sort of, you know, paperwork, or like she saw like a plaque in like, you know, Harris Farm or something like that. Yep. And so she's going to try and find one of the families whose home she stayed in. And, you know, when she was kind of going through those farmhouses, you know, maybe she picked up an odd trinket or two that she found that, you know, in the rubble, because I did note that she had, like, you know, she tidied up those abandoned farmhouses a bit. So maybe she came across a little necklace or a trinket that seemed like it might have had sentimental value. So she is going to try and ask find some,
So you have one of those trinkets in hand?
I mean, if it's no objection to you.
No, I have no objection to that.
So yeah, I think that she would be trying to find the family that had that trinket. Maybe it was something like, a hand carved, ornament.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me what it is.
Okay. So when she had stopped by and she had used one of the abandoned farmhouses to sleep in.
Is this near the border of the Blight in Fallcrest? When you were
Yeah,
close
so it was
to the
maybe
end?
like the last night before she actually got to Fallcrest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A night or two before.
Yep.
And she had stopped by a farm, and on the entrance to the farmhouse, it had it had been called. Let's call it the Big Steer Farm. And at Big Steer Farm, she had to sleep in one of the children's rooms because the marital bed had been smashed and destroyed, and there was way too much blood on it for her to clean out.
Yep.
Strangely, no bodies, but definitely a lot of blood, and that was something that she had noticed when she was going through the Blight. But so she had to stay in one of the children's rooms to actually get a bed.
Mm-hmm.
And she had found a hand-carved, like, little rocking horse. So, like, imagine, like, Christmas ornament size.
Yep.
And it was on, like, the bedside of one of the two children's beds. And on the bottom of it, like, on one of the little rockers, it was, like, it was, there was a little writing on it that was, like, to my dearest Mia, love Nana, or Nana. And so she's going to, try and track down someone who might have either known the family at Big Steer Farm or known this Mia.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to try and return this little ornament to her. And ask after her family and, see if, she can help in any way.
Okay. All right, let's see.
Because she's hoping that through Angus, the refugees have already heard of her sisterhood.
All right, so you want to see if you can track her down by asking around about refugees and then seeing if you can find information about Big Steer Farm and then seeing if you can find Mia from there.
Yes. Mia or anyone in her family.
Okay. I don't think this is a preset move. Let's just have you roll plus your sly.
All right.
Dice right there.
Whew, that's a 14.
Well, yeah, so you ask a few very insightful questions and you Sherlock Holmes your way first to a warehouse that used to contain a bunch of refugees, and from there to some military housing for the families of soldiers. And there you find a family who used to live on Big Steer Farm. And it's a... the father isn't there because he's out undergoing training currently. But the mother and a brother are there. And so I assume you just knock on their door.
Yep.
Based on the tips you've gotten from your very in-depth investigation that we weren't going to role play out.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Hello, can I help you?
So, I'm sorry, is this the mother? Or
This is the mother, yeah.
Yes, you don't know me. My name is Beatrix, and I've recently come into possession of something that I believe belongs to you and your family, and I wished to return it.
Her brow furrows. She doesn't understand.
I'll reach into
She doesn't
my,
have much of anything,
Yeah.
so...
I'll reach into my robes and just pull out the ornament and kind of offer her to her.
She,
it's not much. It won't bring you prosperity or anything of that sort, but I hope it offers some solace in these trying times.
So she sees it, and it takes a second for it to register, and then like her eyes go wide, and she snatches it out of your hand and holds it tight to her chest. Where did you get this?
Well, as a matter of fact, I was passing through, and I found myself at Big Steer Farm, and there was no one else there, and I was attempting to tidy up a bit just so that when someone did return, that they might find it in a better place than maybe they left it.
Return. We're never returning there. It's gone. It's eaten by the blight.
Well, it's not in the best of shape. True. But hope springs eternal. And
She rolls her eyes at that.
yes, I've noticed that it's not, as I mentioned, it is not much solace, but I do hope that even if you are committed not to return, that at least this provides a sense of closure to reminds you of better times, of happier times.
So she thinks on that for a second and sort of stares at it, and you're just sort of lost in thought for a moment. And then she quickly looks up. Did you see her?
I saw no one when I was there.
There was no trace of my Lana.
There was no trace of anyone. Lana is,
My daughter. I gave her this.
Oh, I'm sorry. The inscription says another name.
Yes, Mia.
Yes.
I'm Mia.
Oh,
It was from my grandmother, and I passed it down to my daughter. And I haven't seen sight of her since we fled the farm.
Beatrix is going to offer, something like, I know you don't know who I am at all, and I know I have nothing to offer you, but an open ear and a shoulder to cry on in these awful times. But I have not seen, I saw no one. But that does not mean that there is no one, or that Lana is no longer with us, or that Lana has joined it in its glory. There is.
She sort of she furrows her brow at that, She's
Yeah.
oh, so this is the sales pitch.
Yeah.
That's the expression that's on
Yeah.
her face right now.
But I know that there is very little hope because of the blight. But I found this when the blight was all encompassing. And if you had the spirit to survive, then your daughter may have inherited that spirit as well, and she may still be alive somewhere.
Alright, so that's the kind of claim that can provoke a big emotional response. What do you want her response to be? And if you think I'm about to make you roll, it's because I am.
Yes. I mean, I don't know her that well at this point, but I think that, these sort of, obviously it's her daughter that she's worried about, it's
Mhm.
a familial kind of thing.
Yep.
Hold on, I gotta make sure that this is...
Yeah, I think this is one of those, take a step back from the role-playing game and think of Machiavellian. What's your objective here?
I mean, so, meta, kind of meta
Yeah.
reason. I want...
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want her to spread the word that, like, not, like, that I am there to comfort the afflicted, and that I made her feel better when no one else would. Like, yeah, her husband has, like, he has a job now and, like, they can survive, but, like, they're not getting any kind of spiritual comfort. Like, the North Star is not doing shit for them. And that she is, like, she's willing to listen to her and, like, comfort her when no one else will.
Okay.
So I'm kind of doing that. I'm doing the soft play, but I'm setting myself up as the one who will listen to those who have been forgotten.
So this is straight persuasion here.
Yeah.
All right. So
And
go ahead.
I am going to spend an honor point on the notion that through Angus, right? She has, she's heard that, like, I might be someone who can be trusted at least to listen. So this is kind of like, do you know who I am, but, like, not with that kind of provocative.
Okay. Yes. So that's perfect. So spend one honor when you meet someone who has recently heard something impressive about you, and passing through the blight and providing proof
Yep.
that you have passed through the blight suffices for that.
Yep.
So spend one honor.
Yep.
And you will take one forward on your next threaten with force or persuade with leverage.
So I assume this is persuade with leverage.
Yes, and you're going to make a persuade with leverage, and you've got +1 on that for that.
Okay.
For spending that one honor.
Yep. And persuade with leverage is wily, right?
Yes, it is wily. It's wildly wily. I'm looking at the wrong sheet.
Yep, it's plus
Yes.
wily. And it's a good thing I just took +1, so I'm essentially taking +2.
Oh
my God!
Damn,
Really?
dude.
Are you
Damn,
fucking
dude.
kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me with this?
Get off my lawn. Oh, that fucking sucks. So that's
Really, I cannot make any headway with these people. Oh my God.
So
That's a 6.
So,
it's a fucking
yeah.
6.
So this is your
So-
second major faux pas with this particular community
So
here.
do I get 2 advancement points, right? Because the first time I used an honor move.
No, that's not a move, and it doesn't succeed or fail. You get
No,
an
but the
advantage.
first time you take an honor move in a session, I thought it was.
Yes, I believe so. Let me double check that because nobody's made an honor move. Yes, you do.
Well, at least I get 2 fucking advancement points out of my fucking failure. Oh.
Like when I was coming behind you and imitate you. I do get a free imitate.
Okay, so yeah, so at first she's really touched by having this heirloom returned to her,
Oh.
and
give it to me.
she's listening to you. But as she's listening to you, you can tell she's off in her own thoughts, and sort of in the middle of you talking about something about it, she just suddenly interrupts you and says, "So you're a grave robber, that's it. You visit the homes that have been abandoned, that have seen their children killed, and you take their trinkets and try to impress them? Is that what you do? Get out of here!"
It's not a grave.
"It is to me! My daughter is dead, and she's never coming back, and you can sell your false hope elsewhere. Get out of here!" And with the shouting, you start seeing people poking their heads out from the nearby domiciles, and
I'll bow respectfully and leave.
okay. That sucks.
Seriously!
That does suck.
That's like,
I mean, the
fuck!
dice have been
That's like
really
losing
against
your
you.
cat for like 2 days, and then someone shows up the door with your cat, and then like he's like, "Are you interested in solar?" And
And that's why I made you roll.
Yep. Man, that double 6 I used to find this fucking woman is...
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah.
You're not sorry.
Again, I have this giant...
I have no opinions. I like seeing the story unfold.
I have this giant gaping hole between the role play that I do and the roles I get out of that role play. Oh my fucking god. Oh, man, worst missionary ever. Anyway.
I have faced some setbacks, but the
Yeah, this is
local
the difference
population is primed and ready to hear the word.
Yeah, no, this is the difference between Beatrix and me, because she doesn't give up hope, but I do.
Yeah. You'd be like, fuck this.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, y'all. Peace out. I'm going back to the Blight. That better company there.
I did have better company there. Okay, so...
Is there something else you want to accomplish? Or is that
You
kind of
mean
your...
something else I want to fail at?
Yeah. Something else you want to fail at?
Oh, boy. I think that... You know what? I haven't, since we've been talking about moves that, we haven't done yet, I'd like to try a market move.
Oh, yeah? What do you want to get?
What I'm looking for...
Different dice.
Huh?
Different dice.
Oh, thank you.
What the fuck?
The fan
Oh,
just
fan
fell down
fell
on
down.
its own.
How does that
Ominously.
even happen, though?
Ghosts.
So I think what I would like to find is, at this point, kind of Beatrix has been doing everything that she's been doing kind of almost by hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that at this point, it's been a couple days, like she hasn't had like the carpenter show up that Proctor Cavix kind of promised her.
He didn't really commit to that.
Yeah, I know. But I guess my point is that she's kind of like resigned herself that she's going to have to do most of this on her own.
Yep.
So I think she's looking for like a standard set of carpentry tools.
Okay. So you're looking for tools?
Yeah, I'm looking for tools.
Alright, I don't think this is going to cost barter. Just roll plus sly, and we'll see if you manage to... Actually, hold on. Let me...
Is it plus sly or plus wily?
Market move is
It's plus wily.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so plus wily.
That's an 8.
An 8. Okay, so...
The MC choose... Yeah, I know. The MC chooses one of the following. That's quite a rare thing.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you a little extra, or I know where you can get one. But only if you meet an associate of mine. Damn it, all I had one I just sold it to Blink. Maybe you can go get it off them. So I don't have that, but maybe this will do instead.
I'm going to go with... I don't have that, but will this do instead? So, like, a lot of the structures in Fallcrest are pre-existing and have existed for an unknown period of time. So, carpentry tools are actually pretty rare because...
no one's had to build anything.
There's plenty of building to be done, but, like, nowhere near on the scale of what you'd expect for a town of this, or a city of this size. Like... It's actually, professional carpenters don't have as much work as you'd think they would. Because all these buildings are so old.
Torrin hasn't been invested in the public works budget.
No one dares complain, so I guess there's not a problem. So, what they can get you is basically a really shitty set of carpenter's tools.
Like rust-covered saws and
Yeah, like it's a weird mishmash. Like if a professional carpenter looked at your tools, he'd be like, "What the fuck are you gonna do with this?" Like you're missing half the things you need. The ones you do have are in horrible shape. I mean, you can get stuff done with it eventually, but it's not
we're
good.
talking like Batman '89, like the surgeon who fixes Jack Nicholson's Joker, like the equipment that he's dealing with. That sort of stuff.
Bruh, I haven't watched that movie since the 90s.
When I was commenting on the fact that you guys were Philistines, I wasn't joking. I'm just kidding. Okay.
The 90s, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It was like 10 years ago.
I'm gonna go with 20? Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
We are old
Anyway.
as fuck.
So, because it's not like a barter, I'm assuming that like, maybe he's heard of me and like all I have to do is kind of offer him some
I'd say,
relief
like,
or...
I don't want to, honestly, like, we haven't really broached the subject of barter yet. I don't want to fuck around with it. Like, we all have a broad idea of the
Yeah.
resources that each character has at their disposal.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't hire a team of carpenters to do this, but
Right.
I assume you're going to be able to scrounge together the funds to buy some tools.
Yeah.
Because the market move was middling,
Mm-hmm.
you get middling tools.
Okay. Okay,
Like,
that's...
I don't want to fuck around with barter.
Yeah,
is my main point.
that's fine. I'll take I'll just kind of note that as I'll note that as a, I don't even know, a gear, I guess.
Oh yeah, you can just put it as
Yeah.
something in your notes
Yeah.
that you have shitty carpenters.
Mediocre carpentage.
Shitty to mediocre, but yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
like
Oh,
it's
excuse me,
the same fact, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that was all I had planned on doing. Then I would probably just go back to my sanctuary and collapse for like the rest of the day until it was sundown and I had a communion. I had to do communion with him. With it.
Okay. So, just
Is
the
there
last
anything
thing.
waiting for me when I get back to my sanctuary?
Nothing waiting for you. But when you enter communion with it,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's usually not like a or let me ask you. So, is it usually an experience where you have like a back and forth conversation, or is it more like dreamlike, where sometimes you even struggle to remember what you talked about? Like, where does it fall on that?
Yeah, so
spectrum?
I don't think it's not a vivid dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more that it's almost it's a more sensory emotional experience, more vague, more undefined, and whenever I come out of it, it's always with a feeling of kind of euphoria or ecstasy, take it as you will. But there's only very rare times that it actually is clear and that I actually hear and remember the words that it tells me. So, for example, when I was given the command by it to come to Fallcrest, like, it was, like, essentially, as far as within the Sisterhood, it was the talk of the town. Because it is so rare that anyone has a moment of that level of clarity, and when that happens, that is seen as an omen, whether it's good or for ill, but it's always very important.
Okay. So let's say for your communion tonight, I want you to roll Whisper to the Unspeakable Power.
So that's plus arcane.
Using the other dice.
That's a 9.
They like you a little better.
They like me a little bit better. A little bit better. So that is 7 to 9. Okay, so I'm sorry. I may change the world in some minor but tangible way, and you also.
No, this is Whisper to the Unspeakable Power.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was harnessing the unspeakable power. Where's Whisper?
It's on the basic moves. Anybody can do this.
Oh, okay.
Wink,
Yeah.
wink, nudge, nudge. So what you hear, when we come out of it, what you remember is Cyrano telling you, "The mighty gather. You must be there to guide them to me." And because it was a 7 to 9...
You give me insight, but at a cost.
Yeah. I'm going to say he follows that up with, "Do not fail me."
Yeah, so I'm going to say owing to her injuries
Mhm.
and to, like, the notion that the unspeakable power is not threatening her, but, like, promising that, like, she not fail him.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to wake up with, like, she has literally like wet her bed
Okay.
because that is a fucking terrifying thought for her. The fact
Okay.
that the idea that the stakes are this high this soon, and that she's
Yes.
had so many failures up to this point, like
So many.
Yeah.
I've had like 4 failed rolls in a row when I
Dude,
try and
it
be
knows.
a fucking
It knows shit has
Don't-
not
oh,
been going
yeah.
well
You're
for
getting
you.
experience out of it.
I'm getting experience, but like I'm not going to be able to enjoy much experience if I'm like I'm on its wrong side. Let's put it that way. Okay.
All right.
Noted.
Great. So, Lord Torin,
Yes.
you have disowned your son,
I have.
shipped him off to a military base outside of the city.
Yes.
You have informed your eldest daughter, Jane, that she is the new heir,
Indeed.
and that she's to report for martial training immediately. Lady Gertrude has suddenly a lot more receptive to talking with you now that you've gotten rid of Byrne.
She is.
And she wants you to marry Jane off rather than training her to be a leader.
Yes, yes.
So it's 2 days before the council. What are you doing?
What time is it?
Let's say it's after you got done with your meeting with Gozar.
Okay. I think he is going to. After having to talk to Gertrude,
Mm-hmm.
he is going to change up his clothes, make his way out of the keep, and head over to the Star of the North to go see Antonia.
Okay. Yeah.
You love her.
He wishes.
He wishes upon that star every week.
Okay.
I was gonna say change his clothes from like the schlubs that he has when he meets Gertrude to like his regal finery.
Oh no! He went from the regal finery to sort of
Commoner's clothes.
commoner's clothes.
Okay.
Oh.
So you're heading over. So you're dressing in commoner's clothes.
Yeah.
Are you heading over there incognito?
Yes.
Does anyone know you're going?
No.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay. Are you even armed?
I have a dagger.
Okay. Okay. I suppose that's not too uncommon amongst the common folk.
Very sharp dagger.
So you roll up to Star of the North headquarters.
Yep. And that's sort of a keep, sort of.
Yeah, so their building is obviously a little more militaristic, sort of in the vein of your keep, but it isn't protected by any walls. It's just sort of out in the middle of the city. They have some training yards out back, but it's not fortified the way the keep is.
Right.
So you arrive there. What do you do?
He sort of goes through the same spiel he does every time he goes over.
Oh, so he's done this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, numerous times. And
So this is if
sort
he
of
wants
familiar.
a meeting with Antonia, this is how he does it.
Yep. Well, a meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll
So when you put air quotes around that meeting,
yeah.
does that mean you have some carnal knowledge of Antonia, or
Or you're talking
No.
kind of like putting a flag in a certain spot, like to signal someone who's watching from the walls.
No, we established before that they're each other love interest, right? And
Okay.
That's so.
Sex
so
with
there's
the
some
crown.
sexual tension there.
Not tension. It's released weekly.
Oh,
Sex
okay,
with the
okay.
crown every
So you make a weekly deposit, is what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I want to make this as crass as possible. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're there for your
Yeah.
weekly meeting.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's deeply in love with this woman, and but her being of the whatever it is, North Star,
Mm-hmm.
right? and sort of this unnatural use of whatever
Mm-hmm.
is off-putting, but it doesn't dissuade him from
Poor
Doing the deed.
Gertrude.
doing the deed.
Alright.
Poor Gertrude.
Oh, she
Poor
knows what
Gertrude.
she signed up for.
So yeah, so you make your usual approach. You're seen in. You arrive at her quarters. Do you make small talk or do you just get to it?
No, small talk's after.
Okay. So it's after. Actually, what's your sex mode?
Yeah, right. All right. So, if you and
That
another
was a
character
quick move.
have sex,
And it's over.
they gain 1 barter in gifts at no cost to you if a PC. If an NPC, you may request something or convince them of something as if you have made a persuade with leverage roll on a +10.
So
Okay.
you made a deposit and a deposit into her bank account.
No, that was with a PC. So on NPC,
Oh.
NPC, you may request something or convince them of something as if you have made a persuade leverage at a +10. So persuade with leverage.
Wale.
Yep, that's one of the basic moves.
Yeah.
So-
Yep. I'm just looking at it. So on a +10, for NPCs on 79. For NPC targets, on a +10, they will accept your offer and do say what you want. Wow, that's freaking powerful.
Okay, but so this isn't persuade. This is persuade with leverage.
Right.
So you have to have leverage to even make the roll, which means
Right.
What's your leverage?
What's my leverage?
so. Also, what you want.
Right. So
So let's just tuck that in the back pocket and let's
Sure.
do the scene.
sure.
Lord Torin, that was bracing as always.
That's my first name.
You don't have one.
It's Torin. Torin Baleford.
That's right.
Why should I be the one telling you this?
I forgot what I did. Okay.
I forgot your name.
God. No, I forgot.
Like I don't have a surname because I was raised
Usually
by a
people
fucking
don't
wolf.
say like Lord Chris. They say Lord, right? Can you edit that out, please?
No.
Yes.
Fucking make me.
I will.
No, this is comedy gold. There's no way it's leaving.
no, it shall. It must.
Okay, I will do it.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, right. What's the timestamp?
Timestamp won't matter because I'll be editing it.
Yeah, I'll be editing it. The timestamp's worthless.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, bracing as usual.
Please. Just talking.
As you wish. But, is everything in readiness for the council?
It seems to be. I have it set for pretty early in the morning, but, you know, I'll be there around 8 if you want to show up around 7:30.
She smiles and says, "Good to know, thank you."
Anytime.
That is really good. Thank
That
you.
is really good.
Hmm. So, is there anything you wish to discuss today? Usually you have some business when you
I do.
pay me a call.
It seems as though we have another... I wouldn't call it faction, as there's only one of them. Have you heard of Beatrix?
She thinks for a moment. Is this the woman that supposedly crossed the blight?
Yes, that's her.
I have received some reports from Proctor Cavex. I have not met with her myself, but she seems, from his reports at least, she seems to be not a threat to the order of the city, and she expressed interest in cooperating with him in informing us of any illegal acts or undue acts. I know nothing more than that, I'm afraid.
Yes, I have a man on the inside.
Man, he is coming in hot today.
Yes, he
Ha!
is. Yes, he is.
So, what I learn, I'll let you know. She seems a mild threat for now.
Really? Should I have Cadix pay her another call?
I don't think it's necessary. We'll wait until after the council to see how we'll do with her.
I suppose patience is a virtue, after all. Anyway, is there any other information I should have my people follow up on? In the interest of public order and all.
Yes, I heard an establishment was burnt down the other day.
Yes, I have had similar reports.
Do you know anything?
A great deal of minutiae, but nothing worth your attention, I don't believe.
Oh, just out of curiosity, what minutiae might that be?
So, if you want to press this is a roll. So, what role do you think, though?
Let's do study a person. Things getting charged or tense. So let's do that.
Okay.
So that's plus sly.
Yep.
My plus sly is a 1.
Roll it up.
May you do better than I.
That
You're gonna
is
pick the good dice or the bad
statistically
dice?
100% chance. Let's use the 6, 7.
Okay.
All right.
So you get to ask 2 questions.
So now ask 2. Where to escape? So I think the last one, who or what here, could be useful for me, right? Fall under that, right? Who or what?
That
in
situation. Are you doing?
Oh, sorry. What am I doing?
Study a person, I thought.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, you could do either, but
No. No. Yeah. Sorry. Situation. I think.
okay.
When you or someone else is hurt, you try to glean information. That would be study a person, obviously. So let's do that one.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, study a situation's not entirely off base because you're familiar with Antonia, so
right.
it could be you could be like the attention you paid
No,
to
I think
the
a person.
Okay.
Paints the questions line up better. So
Okay.
Let's do what are you leaving out?
So you know she's not telling the truth.
Yeah.
When she says that it's all minutia and she doesn't really know the details and
Right.
Like you know that's
Yeah.
a lie.
Absolutely.
She knows. Okay.
She knows I know.
She doesn't know that.
Okay.
No. You know that she's lying.
Okay.
And she knows what happened there.
We haven't done
What's that?
We haven't done entanglements.
Fuck, we didn't do entanglements.
Like,
Oh, I
I'm
guess
fine
you're
with
gonna have to
keeping the
restart
same as mine as before, but like, I don't know if you wanted to refresh them.
Alright, so you both met your entanglements last time.
Yep.
But you had ones from the previous time that you switched off of. Go back to those. Does that work?
I didn't switch off any. Oh no, I didn't even pick.
Well, like last session, you had one entanglement
Yeah,
from
and
the
we did
previous.
it. Yeah. So I'll just go off another one.
Yeah, so switch back to the one you had before that, because both of you switched off the entanglements you had
Yeah,
last time.
because that was unlikely for me to meet, but if you want me to go back there, I'll go back there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a limited number there.
Yeah. That's fine.
And I want you to hit all of them at least once.
Oh, I mean, like, this one is more likely for me to hit, so whichever.
And you still have your entanglement from before, right?
Yeah, grow infamy through public display of your fright and power.
Okay.
I also made a clerical error as well too. I picked 2 moves instead of 1. So I'm going to stick with Ferris them all, and I'm going to ditch the Dark Harvest. So I'm going to ditch the Fierce move when I eat the heart.
Oh,
Because I only
Didn't you
get
use
one move
that
to
one?
start with.
Did she use it already?
really?
No, I didn't use the first one.
But you
Ferris
ate
them.
someone's heart.
Yeah, but I'm just not going to take the reward from it, that's all.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think that makes sense. And then just take that as your
Because
first
I'm gonna
advance.
say that's something he does, but he's still learning at it. And when I take the skill, that's when he'll start.
I like that. That's a great
Yeah.
solution. Yep.
So I'm gonna lose the.
He
the
keeps eating
fierce
hearts,
I
and he
have.
doesn't get anything from it.
I know there's
Like-
some
like
reason
taste.
I'm eating hearts. What is it?
They're delicious.
Aha! There it is. I failed enough times. I figured it out.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
Yeah. So you had another question.
how could I get your character to tell me the truth?
That's a good question.
You asked it.
Shut up, a-hole.
The DM is a cruel master.
Indeed.
I should know.
So I think the reason she's not telling you the truth is because she's sort of playing this one close to the chest. I think if you demonstrate some knowledge of the situation, she would be more inclined to fill in the blanks.
I know you're hiding something.
Oh, Torm, I hide a great many things from you. I don't always tell you the truth.
I know you too well.
Yeah, you do know me well, that's true.
I'll tell you something if you tell me something. I'll show you, or you show me, however they say it.
It's pillow talk. You don't need to be formal.
I think I get your meaning.
Right.
So,
So-
go on, dazzle me.
Ta-da!
Seen it.
So, the reason I'm interested.
Yeah.
Calm down, Josh. Calm down. That was no innuendo.
The
Not
reason-
yet.
I'm interested because the man I have looking into Beatrix is of House Thornberry. He's pledged his allegiance to me, and he's of the family that owns that establishment. And when I asked him, he seemed aloof. I mean,
Okay.
the man's adult anyway, but
All right. I think what I'd want you to do here is roll persuade with leverage, but you've got your sex move, so we're just going to call that a full success.
okay.
And I mean, if I was gonna make you roll, you get the +1 for it from the questions. But so she just sort of laughs. Oh, you've got a man in Thornberry then. That's very good, because
Not a man.
okay, woman, whatever, what have you.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, so you don't want to out your agent. That's excellent. Very clever. So what we've discovered is we believe the Thornberrys are actually operating an extensive criminal empire just under our noses. We thought it was a large number of different criminal enterprises, but we discovered that actually they're all communicating with each other, and all the communications flow back to House Thornberry. We didn't know it was Thornberry at first. That's why we burned down the brothel. Because once we did that, we had our eyes everywhere, and we saw all the action heat up at House Thornberry itself. They went into lockdown and they swarmed over that site trying to figure out what happened. It was all incognito, so I trust you to keep this hush-hush. We didn't want them knowing that it was us.
No.
But, I'm very proud of my man. There was a single person who did that.
Oh, really? Who was it?
I'm not going to tell you that one, darling.
Oh. Please.
What do I get for it?
So what would be something that she wants?
So, she's sort of a philosopher king here for the Stars of the North. She, like, her quarters are extremely fucking Spartan. Like, you hate her bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's garbage, in your opinion.
Yeah.
The only reason you get in is to fuck her.
Right.
Like, she doesn't really have material possessions, really. So what she wants are all things that advance their agenda. And she's kind of tight-lipped about what she wants right now.
She wants a +1 hold.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, +1 forward.
Tell you what. If you promise me a favor, on your honor, I'll let you in on the secret.
I swear it.
You've sworn it, on your honor, to me. Is that correct?
Always.
Your wife.
Do you remember? Very well, I remember. I will call this in. Do you remember Executor Felix?
I do.
That smile. Yes, you remember. He's the one that crushed your cousin's hands.
You did a fine job.
I really enjoyed that. He had been stealing from our coffers for years before we discovered it. It's quite an accomplishment. He's a sly little fox. But yes, it was Executor Felix that I sent out. Usually he is, he conducts his business in full regalia with his mighty hammer.
Mm-hmm.
But this was entirely incognito. I'm very proud of him for that.
Indeed. Well, I should share a drink with him sometime.
I'm afraid he's convalescing at the moment.
Oh.
Yes, see, it wasn't the cleanest mission, but he accomplished the objective. That's the kind of man he is.
I see. Well, he's ever around or able to... I'd like to share my thoughts with him.
Well, I was hoping he would accompany me to the council as my honor guard, but he needs some more bed rest, I'm afraid.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I shall say you wanted to speak with him at some point.
Thank you. Okay. Who will be joining you for the council meeting?
Oh, I don't know. I'll figure it out in time. I'm writing here in big letters, Torin owes Antonia favor.
He seems like a man of his word.
Who's that?
Torin.
Oh, yes.
I say that with every ounce of sarcasm that I can muster.
No, I think with her though it's different.
With her, it's different. That's cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you have anything else you wanted to discuss before you scampered off?
No, I think I'll make my So where is Thornberry in relation to the trek back to his keep.
It's pretty far out of the way.
Far away. Yeah, I think he'll just make his way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, that's your adventures for the day.
I think so.
Okay. All right. So, Gozer.
Yes. Say Torbjorn.
Yeah.
It's not Torbjorn.
I know it's not Torbjorn.
Okay, good.
But he's gonna keep saying it
I
now
know.
that he knows it bothers you.
No, well, it doesn't bother me. It's just making me think Torbjorn, and I have to like, what the fuck is my name? That's why I got confused.
Next time I
'Cause
go
I was
see-
thinking Torbjorn.
Hello, Lord Torbjorn.
No, my turret. Anyway, Gozer.
Yes.
It's the day before the council.
Okay.
Auntie Hilda hasn't given you anything specific to accomplish, so what is it that Gozer wants to do?
I think I would want to talk to Nefaria about the fire, just because it, obviously Torin mentioned it, but it kind of did pique his interest a bit. And if he's trying to grow in the family and learn more about the family affairs and things like that, he feels like he should, take more interest in those types of things rather than just killing people and eating their hearts.
Yeah, I can understand that. So what's your relationship with Nefaria like?
I'd say we have a typical cousin relationship where we're very,
I don't
when we're
need the
together, we're very close. We are
I know.
big fans of each other. When we're not near each other, it's kind of like, you don't really think about the person too much. You don't really reach out to them too often. But when you happen to be in the same room, it's like you're best friends.
Okay. So where do you go expecting to find her?
I'd probably start back at the house first.
Okay, so is it a manor? Is it a mansion? A villa?
I'll say it's a manor.
Okay. Thornberry Manor. So you look around a bit and you find her early in the morning, say?
Yeah, it's all right.
She's in the breakfast nook.
Excellent.
With a hard-boiled egg
Good. Keeping the
for
diet.
breakfast. Yes. She looks up from her egg and she says, "Ah, Gozer, good to see you. What are you up to today?"
Oh, here and there, just poking around. So,
Who's this name?
Huh?
Who's this?
Nefaria.
Oh.
so I had a question for you. The fire that happened, that was our property, wasn't it?
So she leans back from her egg and then looks around a bit to make sure there aren't too many prying ears, and she says, that's sort of a sensitive topic. We're not supposed to be talking about that too much.
Understood, but just trying to figure things out. I'm getting people asking questions, so I want to make sure I don't say something I'm not supposed to.
Well, yeah, that's good to know then. So, you know how Auntie Hilda sort of keeps parts of the business, what's the word? Compartmentalized?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's my compartment, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm pretty occupied trying to clean up that particular mess and trying to figure out who did it to us, because we know it was somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody came in, cased the joint, and when they walked back out, they attacked two of the guards, blocked the door, and then threw lamp oil over the front of the building and torched it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't just lose the building, we lost, 4 guards, 12 whores, and 3 miscellaneous laborers, plus all of the alcohol we had stored on site, and the building itself. So
So they're murderers, whoever they are.
Oh yes, oh yes. They killed quite a few.
No responsibility.
Yeah, it's quite the mess, and it was quite the blow to us. I mean, we have other establishments, but
Is that a pun?
I'm sorry. No, that one was not a pun. You need to chill out with the innuendo, because you are out of control tonight.
I'm sorry, what does my character do?
The old in out, in out. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more, say no more.
If I'd rolled better with the mother.
I know. Yeah, of course you would. I shouldn't be surprised. Anyway.
So, do we have any leads on who it is?
She sort of cocks her head at you. You're interested in helping me out then?
Of course, you're my cousin. Why wouldn't I help you?
Well, you know, I'm sure you have your own business, but I do appreciate it.
Family first.
Yeah, yeah. So, the reports are a little sketchy. They didn't provide any great detail, and the two people who saw the man, or actually the 4 people in total that saw the man up close, they're all dead. 2 of them were guards that he killed, and 2 of them were workers who ended up burning up. But the reports were strange from the other guards that made it out. So the scuffle started when the man attempted to leave to collect his sword, like they do with all the checked weapons at the door. And suddenly a baby started crying. The man I questioned said that the sound came from the man himself, and that's when the fight started. Like he was trying to smuggle a baby out.
Oh, weirdo.
Yeah, that's what doesn't add up for me. Because he was alone, he wasn't wearing any uniforms or sigils or anything like that. And the fight didn't start until he got caught with the baby.
That's a little odd.
Yeah, what do you make of that? Because I've been scratching my head and I can't get a straight answer on what might have caused that.
Was it maybe his kid from a whore and he was trying to take it?
Maybe, but why burn the building down?
Maybe because the guards tried to attack him? I don't know.
Well, yeah, but if he's trying to get his kid back, once he kills the guards, he just runs.
True. Maybe he's trying to cover up something.
See, that's the thing, because just
What?
taking a baby, if he'd run, he would have got off scot-free. That makes me think he was there for something more. But then why the baby?
Did anyone go through the ruins of it to see if there was anything, I don't know, out of place? Or, I know it probably got burned up. Burned up.
That one was natural, ladies and gentlemen. No, it was an all-wooden structure, so it,
Oh, and poof.
pretty much by the time they got the fire under control, it would... When we say they got the fire under control, they meant they prevented it from spreading to other buildings. The whole thing was a loss.
Damn fire department.
Well, they're a bunch of volunteers with buckets, so, I mean...
True.
It is actually a small miracle they managed to keep it from
Were
spreading.
there any of the
further.
horrors that survived?
No, yes, quite a few. And we've tried to find other homes for them, but our other establishments are pretty full up right
Did
now.
any of them see anything?
Yeah, there's a few did, but it was all at a distance. The madam who greeted him burned. The whore he visited burned. Although it's worth noting that the whore he visited did have a child, so that adds up.
And he got away with the baby, didn't he?
Well, we didn't find a baby at the scene, so we're assuming he did.
All right. And none of the horrors saw anything relevant, close up or anything.
Not that they remembered to me or the men that I sent to investigate. You could talk to them yourself if you wanted to, but I wouldn't want to waste too much of your time. I appreciate the effort, though.
I'll see if I can dig around a little bit. I can send my pup here to go spy on some people. 'Cause she's good at doing that.
What's the wolf's name?
I never really came up with a name. Let's go with Kaya.
Kaya. Kaya's a good sort, isn't she? Yeah, sure. I would appreciate the help. If you turn up anything, let me know. I just don't want to waste your time. It's been a frustrating few days.
Understandable. Well, I have some other things I have to do around town, so it's not that much trouble to just bring Kaya with me, and I can kind of just, look at her. She's a lovely, cute little pup. Everyone loves her.
She smiles and scratches Kaya behind the ears.
So yeah, I'll send her out and see what I can get from her while I'm doing my other stuff.
Thank you, cousin. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Good luck with this while I'm trying to dig something up. Let me know if you find anything.
I'll let you know if I find anything of interest. We'll compare notes.
Absolutely.
Alright, so when you're done there, what's your next move?
As much as I don't want to, I think he would probably go back to Beatrix. To
Really?
Try and... So it's one day before the council. He'd like to get something.
So if it's one day before the council, so you're supposed to report to me today.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to go to Beatrix first. See if
Okay.
I can get anything other. Because I know if I go to Torrin without anything, that's not going to please the king. So he's going to try and go to Beatrix first, see if he can proceed on this spiritual journey. Try and get something. Maybe use a move to try and get something.
Okay.
So yeah, he's going to go to Beatrix.
Okay. You go to Beatrix then.
You know, knock on the door of the sanctuary. Beatrix is asleep.
She's asleep.
She's asleep. She's recovering. It's a minute or two before she finally.
Anybody home? It's me, Gozar.
I think Beatrix is gonna hang her head and slowly open the door, revealing that like she is just in her nightgown. She doesn't even care.
Hi, Beatrix.
Oh,
You look lovely.
thank you, Gozer. It's
How are you?
it's been a day or two.
Would you like a back rub?
Thank you. I think that's usually my question. I don't think that.
Don't let the voice throw you off. I mean, look at this. Woo.
Gozer, my dear Gozer, if you thought that I would be in a position that something as mundane as a voice would prevent me from performing my spiritual duties, I don't think you have particularly heard much of the sisterhood. It is more that I am not terribly in a position to provide.
Oh, I don't want to sleep with you right now. I want to get the learning going.
You seem to think that they're two different things.
So you
Gozer,
can't teach me without sleeping with me.
sleeping is the passive part of it, but look, Gozer, it's that I
Are you
would
okay?
not.
You seem a bit off.
It's been a long fucking day, and the thing is, Gozer, is that I would not, in my present, unfortunately, corporeal form, provide the greatest portrayal and guidance toward the glory of it that would do it justice. So if you could just provide me a few extra days of
What if
rest.
I
Maybe
make-
if you could come back next week.
What if I can make you feel better now?
Beatrix is gonna look at him up and down and just like, I'm of course open to discussion on the matter, but unless you have a treatment for, and she's going to just completely raise her nightgown up and show like the giant black and blue marks that are just all over her chest and
Stand by. Hold on.
I'm what?
Just wait a second.
He's going to close his eyes. And before I do this, I want to see if I actually can do it. So I want to harness the unspeakable power. So if I succeed, I can change the world in one small, minor but tangible way. If I were to succeed, would I be able to remove her black and blue marks to make her feel a bit better? Would that be a small, tangible way?
I'd say if we had a blood letter, then that would be their domain. But since we don't, I don't see a reason why not. I mean, you're harnessing the unspeakable power, so it's inherently a dangerous sort of thing to do. So, yeah, you could do it. You could potentially do this.
All right.
Interesting.
I want to roll some dice. I haven't rolled any.
Please.
And
That'll
that
do it.
is a 9 plus...
Whatever your arcane is.
3, so 12.
Woo! All right, so
Fuck.
so what do you get on a 12?
On a hit, which this is, I may change the world in some minor but tangible way. On a 7 to 9, MC will also hold one. It may spend it on one of the following.
Not applicable.
Not applicable. And it just says use your talents wisely. So I get to change the world in one small, tangible way.
And you want to heal her?
I want to heal her. I want to make her feel good.
You're back to 0 harm.
I'm back at 0 harm. Wonderful.
Your bruises literally fade before your eyes.
So he opens his eyes.
Any better?
Nope.
Beatrix is going to
I do, yes.
open her mouth as if she's about to close the door, and then like she'll
Nice.
feel the. And it's like, sometimes I'm not entirely sure you may need my teachings.
Of course I do.
Don't sell yourself short.
Are you free now?
I'm freer than I was, yes.
Excellent.
He walks in.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you done that before?
No, that's the first. What do you mean, like in the game or like?
As Gozar
Or
done
as
that.
Gozar?
I've probably done it a couple times, but
Yeah.
not like. I've done like stupid stuff, like if I killed an ant or something, like some small animal.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I
like
would do
parlor
that.
back
tricks.
together?
Parlor tricks.
Yeah, like parlor trick type stuff.
Okay.
That's like even this one is like.
So this was new for you.
This was new for me, but yeah, he's gotten a little bit of
And
confidence doing it.
then how do you do it?
He basically closes his eyes and he feels like this. I feel like if you're looking from outer body, he closes his eyes and there's like the light that comes down into him, and he just feels like this force coming into him.
Yeah.
And he basically asks for some small tangible things he has, and you know, the powers that be either can I tell him that yes, your wish is granted, or no, you basically aren't going to get this, and I'm going to cause harm to you, or whatever the case may be.
Gotcha.
Like it's
Okay.
all mental.
So yeah, so you're not entreating a specific entity. You're just sort of opening yourself up for something
Almost
to come
opening
in.
myself up to the psychic maelstrom.
Yeah, you're opening yourself up and you're asking for something.
Yep.
And sometimes you get what you want, and sometimes you don't.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep. And on a 7 to 9, just so you know, the power, the hold you get is either you can choose the power knows what you're doing and why you're doing it. The power asks for something minor in return. The power requests some small show of loyalty.
So with a 7 to 9 saying that it knows what you're doing implies that on a 10 plus it doesn't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, like,
Or it doesn't rise to the level of,
Or maybe it doesn't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's like,
on, maybe
yeah,
on
and
10
it's my
pluses.
choice, so I'm not going to use that where it's not appropriate.
Right.
But like, if you entered into some Faustian bargain with a devil to accomplish a specific task,
Yeah.
and you're using magic to go against that, it knowing that is kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, so you feel a lot better.
yeah, I'll let him in.
He already walked in, so.
Yeah. Well-
Channeling my inner newt.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had intended on spending the rest of the afternoon convalescence, but you seem to have obviated that. What can I do for you this afternoon?
Well, we had talked last time about, the whole spiritual thing and learning, and I want to start taking the next steps.
Yes, the whole spiritual thing, as you called it.
Well, I'm sorry, I just got hit in the head, so...
Yes, I gather.
Kind of funny I can heal you, but I can't heal myself.
I think that is in and of itself a lesson that is good to note, that the ability to heal at others and not oneself is a demonstration of strength and not of weakness, that even we mere mortal, corporeal, imperfect beings might provide some element of the sublime to others is a demonstration of our favor in the eyes of it and not in the eyes of others.
I'm sorry, I dozed off. Could you say that again?
Yes, I gathered.
Sorry, I'm not used to this whole spiritual stuff. It takes a while to grasp on for me. I'm trying, though.
You see this log? Just kidding.
Yes, it's for the uninitiated, it is not an intuitive concept. I would encourage you, now that we have the balance of this afternoon, to explore this new selflessness that you have discovered, that the ability to do better for others than you might do unto yourself is a blessing.
Uh-huh.
And being able to harness such gifts is the sort of thing that one must sing from the rooftops in order to benefit the greater glory of that which bestowed such gifts upon you.
Uh-huh. I brought back a rat before. It's really cool.
And rats play such an intricate part.
I just picture Torin waking up in the morning, going to his balcony, and you're like, what the fuck is that guy doing on the roof?
Am I doing this right?
Yeah. What is he? Why is he dancing?
But it is wonderful that you have discovered such gifts, and I cannot thank you enough that you have bestowed such pleasures upon me. I can only wonder what benefit you think I can provide you when you already have such a
Well,
deep.
there are two things that we could do.
Yes.
Well, one, it was kind of nice with a little fun we had before. If you're up for that.
Oh. You know, if you had asked me 15 minutes ago, I think I would have been more reluctant, but I am certainly happy to share the benefit of it with you. I just can only wonder what value you think it can provide when you have already demonstrated such an understanding of its benevolence.
Anything I can do to get closer.
Closer to what?
Learning
Learning what?
everything.
That's a lot.
It is. That's why my brain hurts.
I'm sorry, Gozer. I'm only too happy to help in any way, shape, or form I can, but you didn't really strike me as the scholarly disposition.
Well, let's just say I have some new responsibilities in the family.
Oh?
Yes, I'm just trying to be more the man of the house as I get a bit older. I realize I've been a little inept.
I'm sorry. I come from a sisterhood, you see, and we didn't have much of men of the house. Could you just provide me a little more information or insight into
Well, man
what
of the
that
house.
might mean?
Well, man of the house isn't really. My aunt's really the woman of the house, but it's really just the head of the household. My aunt's getting older. She's not going to be around forever. So I want to be able to take my family where it needs to go.
That makes a certain kind of logic, I suppose. Is that, I'm sorry, is that a request that you would like to invite the rest of your house into me?
It depends how things go. This god of yours, or the spirit of yours, if I see it really impact me, then sure, I would invite my family to potentially.
Her jaw's gonna drop a bit. It's like, I'm sorry, did you just refer to it as this god of mine?
Well, god of, I suppose many people. Maybe.
Yes. And of the world?
Yes, that too.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Gozer, are you sure that you're committed to this particular path?
I'm here, aren't I?
Yes. And that's very good of you.
I got rid of your black and blues, didn't I?
Yes, and
I didn't have to, did I?
no, but
All right then.
Gozer, I think you are missing the point, which is that as much as I, Beatrix, am grateful and thankful for the gifts that you have bestowed upon me, I think you are missing the point, which is that it is not me you are seeking to impress, but it.
Yes, it. I get that.
And
Let me interrupt real quick. So I think at this point in the conversation, somebody needs to make a move, whether it's persuading.
I'll do a persuade, because I have a goal in mind. here.
yeah, because he is basically flunking every possible theological kind of like.
So persuade.
Yeah,
is-
anything.
Yeah, and I'd
This
say
is like if anyone has
persuade with
watched.
leverage. Your leverage here is that you just healed her.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, if anyone watched Seinfeld, like this is like when George Costanza pretended to be Latvian Orthodox, and like he wrote the answer to the conversion test like on his hand. Like that's what we're kind of talking about here.
So it is Wiley. That's a straight roll for me. That is an 8.
Alright, so persuade with leverage. So choose one. The target does or says what you want. If the target does or says what you want, you may choose to give them one advancement point. Or, if the target refuses, they must make a refuse an obligation, duty, or debt roll. And and also, if you can, restate exactly what you're trying to persuade her to do. What are you trying to
Sleep
persuade
with
her
me.
to do? To sleep with you? Just
Yeah.
to sleep with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, information, right?
Huh?
Well,
Well,
Teach you about
it.
it.
yes, teach me about it.
Okay.
But
And the blight.
I also
and-
have a
right.
secondary plan with the whole sleeping thing because I have the sex with the hex move.
Okay.
So I have a secondary plan as like a backup
Right.
plan. Out
So,
of character.
So like, yeah. So you can choose to give an advancement point, or
So you have to pick.
I
The,
pick
the MC picks.
Does
for PC
No.
targets, you get both below on the 7-9. You
so if
choose
the target
one.
refuses, no, that's a PC of the MC.
On the
picks.
top it says on
No,
the
No.
You
oh.
choose.
So for PC, on a 7 and
Oh.
9, you choose one. You choose one of those, and if Josh
Okay.
refuses,
Oh, okay, so it's the MC
yeah,
picks
you
the ones
can
on
just straight refuse.
it. Okay. So who picks? I pick or
You
he
pick.
picks?
you pick which one.
Okay.
Are you
A
going
or
to give
B?
him an advancement point if he does it, or are you going to make him make a refuse an obligation duty or debt roll if he
No.
does it?
So if the target does or says what you want, you choose to give him. So if Josh does it, you
Okay.
can say, "I'm going to give you an advancement point."
And if he
they
doesn't, then he has to
refuse,
roll.
Then he has to roll the refuse and obligation.
No, you have to
duty or
pick
debt.
one now, and then he gets to make his decision. That would be if you got both. He rolled a 7.
I'm sorry,
True.
what? No, if you get both below. No.
So you can either give me you can either offer me the advancement, or you
It
could
doesn't
offer
make
me
any sense.
the opportunity to make a roll.
You don't get both if one option is yes and the other option is no.
No. It does, because if, like, let's say he offers me the advancement point,
Yeah.
I can still choose to spurn him,
Right.
but then I don't have to make the refuse an obligation roll,
Yep, that's correct.
or vice versa. That's
Yeah.
that's the benefit
One's the
of it.
carrot, one's the stick. If you roll a 10 plus, you get both. If you don't, you
You
have
can
to
offer
choose.
the carrot, but I still don't have to take
I'm
it.
actually going to choose if the target refuses, they must make a refuse an obligation duty or debt roll. Because I feel like with the fails you've had, you've gotten a decent amount of advancement points. So I feel like an advancement point won't mean as much.
I am going to. Here's what I'm going to do, and Nate, let me know if I can get away with this.
Put another persuade with leverage on the stack.
I'm going. No. I'm going to say. I'm going to say this.
Counterspell.
Yeah.
Gozer, you've made a few comments that have made me, let's say you've made some comments that have opened some questions about the sincerity of your devotion. And look, I am not, I recognize that this body is of this world. And so, with that in mind, I am happy to help you continue along the spiritual path, but I think that given the slings and arrows that this body has suffered, that it should get something in return as a demonstration of the sincerity that, unfortunately, I have had called into slight question given the answers to my questions. So, here's the thing. I have had rumor, shall we say, that there is a rather important meeting going on at some near future date. Given your connections and House Thornberry's power, such as it is, I would like to know from you now, before we engage in any additional theological study, just what that meeting is, and I would, in addition to that knowledge, insist upon attendance for my person at that meeting.
So,
So, That's
This could
interesting.
be this. So this could be essentially an exchange to accept his request, or it could be a persuade with leverage. With the leverage being sex. It's up to you.
Yeah, I think it's a counter persuade with leverage because he had leverage in healing you, as we established. So, like, if you're asking for something else, that's also a persuade. So you can withhold your decision about whether or not you're going to agree to his demand based on how this roll goes. But yeah, I think you're going to persuade with leverage here. to do
Okay.
that.
Here
So
we
you're
go.
making the roll before you make the decision.
It's like on the
Yeah.
stack.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I've cast an instant.
Dude, I'm playing it fast and loose.
Oh, thank God. It's an 8.
All right. So yeah, you can pick one of those options. Either punish him for saying no, or reward him for saying yes.
I really want what I want, so I'll offer him an advancement point.
Okay. So if you accept, that means you have to try and get her into the council.
Okay. So how does the stat go on my side?
So, well, correct me
Well,
if I'm wrong.
if you say yes,
If you say
then
yes,
she says yes.
yes, exactly.
All right. Fair enough.
Well, I actually can't make that decision, but I'm going right after this to meet the person who can make that decision, and I feel very confident that I'll be able to get you in.
I am so happy to hear that you have such confidence. So, it wouldn't be too much trouble for you to get that assurance, and then, as soon as you do, you come back and we'll come to the place where it resides.
Okay, so you want to put it off.
Well, I'm putting it off until I get some actual assurance from him.
That's
Because he's opened the door to let himself intentionally fail, and I don't want to let him. I don't want to let him off the hook.
Okay. What do you think, Gozar?
Say you? What say you?
I think before I make my decision, I'm going to
Cast persuade with leverage.
No.
Tap 2 islands.
Yeah.
I am going to whisper into the unspeakable power.
Ooh.
Try
Okay.
and get some sort of guidance on this.
All right. Give me that whispers.
Oh, this will be an interesting reveal.
Oh, that's a 2 on one of them. Oh, that's a freaking 5. What do
Oh
What
no!
do I
Plus 3, right?
add?
You had like you.
Well, it's
did, like,
arcane,
plus
right?
3,
So it's plus 3.
Yeah, so that's an 8 then.
Okay.
Which is the NC.
So what are you looking for? What are you attempting to learn?
I'm trying to figure out some way. I'm trying to learn exactly, like, I know what she wants. I know she wants to go to this conference. I'm trying to figure out the reason she wants to go in a way that I can just get her to trust me.
I'm sorry, what?
Hey, Gozar doesn't know that. I'm trying to find guidance I think the biggest guidance I'm trying to find is, should I just go to Torin and just simply ask, or should I try and bullshit my way through?
I like how both of your characters are like playing off the same power.
Well, we don't know
To
it's the
get
same
this-
power.
Yeah.
We
I
don't
know.
know it's the same
to get
power.
the same thing.
So part of your question was about the
thing about
power
having two
she
magic
serves,
uses.
yeah?
Yeah.
So this is not going to be a clear vision because you're. Yeah, it wasn't a full success. So
Plus, I want to hear her unspeakable power voice.
No, I'm not doing the faceless man voice from friggin' Apocalypse World. I don't think I can do that for very long. Yeah, it hurts just doing that. Jeez. That voice is the worst.
You chose it.
I know. It was dumb. So I think you reach out. You try to feel out this power that stands behind her. To see its shape, its size, its color, anything. And the hands you reach with aren't your own. But as those hands reach out, they come close, and then they recoil in, like, you're not sure if it's pain or fear, because they're not your hands. They're the hands you've commanded. And they're afraid.
Doesn't know what afraid of, though. I think in this situation, his unknown with Beatrix, because he doesn't know much about Beatrix, I think he'll agree and he'll head to Lord Torrin.
Okay. So we'll hold off on marking experience until you actually succeed rather. So yeah, you go call on Lord Torrin like he asked you to. Is Lord Torrin gonna keep him waiting for 2 hours again?
What time is it?
It was morning, so...
Well, yeah, but you
Let's
didn't
say
meet
late
him until
morning.
like 3, right? Or is it the next
Right,
day?
no, I just wondered.
It's the next
like,
day.
What, yeah. What
It was
time?
more, it's probably around
What
lunchtime.
time do you show up to the keep?
Probably around lunchtime again.
Okay. Probably like an hour this time.
What a fucking dick. Love it.
All right. So yeah, after an hour, you have him called into your study or wherever.
Study, yeah.
Okay. You spend a lot of time there.
With the lead pipe. With the lead pipe.
Hello, Lord Torrin. I've come with a bit more news. I seem to be getting a bit closer. She had an odd request, though. The council meeting tomorrow, she requested attendance.
Why?
She didn't say. I think she wants to hear, I think, what it is about. Because she asked me what it is for, and I didn't want to speak on your behalf.
That's an odd request, don't you think?
I do, but
So you didn't think to ask her why she wanted to attend?
she's a bit difficult. Trust me, I rolled.
If she was in the habit of telling me things, I would have just got this information.
Trust me,
for
I
you.
rolled with persuade and it didn't work. She countered with it. If she gains attendance, then I have.
An advancement point.
I gain an advancement point too. No, if she
Too meta.
if she comes, then I get a bit closer.
Whoa. Hey, kids here.
And I do have a little trick up my sleeve, if needed. And this encounter will.
Stop talking.
Yes. I know. I need to work on it. It's a bit annoying. I know. It's all right. I'm sorry.
He said, still talking.
All right. Let me make something perfectly clear. Our relationship, you don't leave things out. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So when you say that you have something up your sleeve, you tell me what that is.
I can turn into Bella. I can turn into Beatrix.
I'm sorry, what?
I can turn into Beatrix.
You have to elaborate a little bit.
I can snap my fingers and I turn into her. I talk like her. I act like her. I think like her.
Depending on how you roll.
No, it's an instant
No,
success.
yeah, it's an instant success.
I thought it was that like if he rolls like a 7 to 9,
Well,
like he doesn't.
That's if I
he-
roll the
if
move.
he's doing the move.
But with the sex of the hex, I
okay,
get that
okay.
automatically.
Gotcha.
And he's still got hold 1 from the last time.
Yep. No. I knew that. I just didn't know how far it went.
So I figure at some point that could prove beneficial.
To me.
Yes.
To,
So if she comes to this, she will sleep with me again, which means I can turn into her a second time. And I get to learn more about her and her spirit and how the hell she walked through the blight. Pardon my French. Sorry to be disrespectful. She's a bit aggravating to deal with, so I'm sorry. You'll see if she shows up.
how do you turn into Beatrix? Do you put on a wig?
No, I just snap my fingers and I turn into her. You do know what I am, right?
Magic.
No. What are you?
Ooh, you don't know, do you? Ooh.
No, what?
I suppose you really want to know, huh?
Didn't I make myself clear
I'm
about
a
30
hex.
seconds ago?
I do magic stuff. I'm a hex.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So I can do a lot of good things. Once I level up a bit more,
Too meta. Too meta.
I can do a lot of good things.
Like what?
If you were to give me a piece of your hair, I can turn into you. If you were to give me a piece of your wife's hair, I could turn into your wife.
No, thank you.
1 is enough, thank you.
I can curse people. I can make specific deals where people give me a chunk of their life, a memory. I can do a lot of good things. I can eat people. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Funny, haha. I like to make jokes here and there.
Yeah, I was laughing.
Sorry.
I can make jokes. They're not very good, though.
Hey, he's 16. He's 16. Give him a break.
You're either insane or you're telling the truth.
Would you like me to try?
Try what?
Turning into you to show you? Still a work in progress. I might not get the voice right, but I don't want to waste the Beatrix one because I have to sleep with her to get it.
Oh no, how terrible. You have to
So-
sleep with a woman who's devoted her entire life to
To
providing
sleeping with
bodily
people.
pleasures
Right.
to others. How awful.
So I'm gonna... Let's, come with me.
Okay.
And we're gonna walk down to, the dungeons. Right?
Yep.
And I'm gonna dismiss the guard. Right? And I'm gonna
Fucking hope I roll. 'Cause
have one of these like half dead murderers in one of these cells walk forward, right? And I'm gonna grab the hair on his head and rip it off, and I'm gonna hand it to Gozar.
There's some small amount of shrieking.
Alright, let's roll and hope I get better. And I
Oh, this will be fun.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
11 plus 3, that's 14.
Why can't
Okay.
I roll like that?
So,
Because the dice
on
hate
a
you.
10 plus, I look, talk, and even smell like the other character for a brief period of time.
Disgusting.
All right, so
Well,
do you want to describe this, or should I? The transformation.
you're the MC, I'll let you have this one.
Okay. So he takes the hair in his hand and he wraps it around his finger a few times and closes his eyes, and he sort of rubs it between his fingers, and you're watching him rub it between his fingers, and then out of the corner of your eye you see his skeletal structure seem to like shift in bursts. Like suddenly his left shoulder juts out a little bit more. So does his right. His stomach caves inward because this poor fucker is starving to death here. His hair grows long and greasy, like all in the space of an instant, and changes color. And his cheeks grow hollow, and his beard grows out. And you look at him and say,
God, why don't you feed these prisoners? I'm starving. What? You look like you've seen a ghost.
So
they're screaming from the cell from the guy you just copied.
Not yet. His execution isn't until next week.
So the look on his face that you're reading is not like you've seen a ghost. It's more disgust and hatred.
Okay.
Okay.
He notes that.
So, being in the world that Torin is in,
I'm remembering the prelude now. I think I know where this is going. Go ahead.
He hates magic users.
He knows things like this exist, but at the same time, it can be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that's our relationship. You think me useful and powerful.
Yes, exactly.
No,
which
he's
is
made
why,
good on
which,
that.
Which is why I ventured to do and show the magic and tell you.
So,
Because I feel it'll be beneficial to keep me around.
can you turn it off?
I have it for a while, but if I just want to snap it off, I can snap it off.
Do it.
Snaps his fingers and he's back to.
You see the same thing, the same horrific display, but in reverse.
Yeah. So we're gonna walk back up to the top of the keep, back to my study. What do you want, Gozar?
Well, first of all, I'd like to. Well, I want a lot of things, but I'd say in this particular moment, to not be killed, for a better voice, but I know you can't do anything about that. I would say in order to assist in our your plan of figuring out how Beatrix walked through the blight, I would like her to be at the council so I can proceed with the task you have given me, as well as being able to sleep with her so I can turn into her a second time.
I think you misunderstood.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. You're learning.
Yeah, I am, yes.
Yeah. What do you want?
In life, you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
that's kind of a big question.
that is a big question.
You already mentioned his voice.
Yeah.
I would say to lead my family back to something respectable.
Respectable, you say?
Yes, respectable.
So,
We are respectable now, but
but you're just saying you're not respectable now?
no, I would say more respectable.
So more respectable.
More respectable, yeah. I'd like my family to be back in.
How are they not respectable now?
Well, we used to be in power years ago,
Yeah.
like way before
Before
your
what?
time,
Yeah.
your family's
How
time.
so?
They were kings. My great grandfather was a king.
Must have been my cousin.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Was his name Edgar?
No.
Oh, no relation then. I'm not saying I want my family to be in charge, but I would like us to be higher on the totem pole than we are now.
Yeah. How's that working out for you now?
We're holding our own, but, challenges here and there. But we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Aunt Hilda's doing a good job keeping the family afloat right now.
Doing what now?
Well, I don't really spend a lot of time with Auntie Hilda. I'm kind of just off doing my own things, but, I'm trying to be more in the family and, help with the family and,
How so?
just more responsibility with the family.
You keep saying with the family. What does that mean?
Well, with all my cousins and my aunt and just helping more instead of being a typical 16-year-old that likes to go sleep with people.
I think we've discussed this before.
Maybe, yes.
Probably. So, be specific with what you're telling me. You are saying the same thing over and over again, which means you are lying about something.
I want our family to be in power.
I
No.
understand that.
Okay.
I'm asking you. You are helping the family. How are you doing that right now?
Basically doing what Auntie Hilda tells me to do.
What is she telling you to do?
She hasn't given me any specific task yet. She just said she wants me to start being more of a man instead of a boy. And she said at certain points she'll ask me for help.
And that's it.
Yes.
You mentioned other family members. What do they do?
Well, I'm only close to one of my cousins, and never really asked her what she did.
You understand, for me to help you, I need to know more about you.
Well, yes, I understand that.
What cousin are you talking about?
Nefaria?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Who's she?
she's my cousin.
He's going to walk over to the window, pour himself a very stiff drink, down it, and turn back and...
I don't know what she does yet. I'm not that close with her. What don't you get? I'm a 16-year-old boy trying to sleep with people. I haven't taken over the family mantle yet.
So, tell you what. I will ensure you take over your family business. But I need your full confidence.
Okay. Wait, you're not going to kill my Auntie Hilda, are you?
Do you want me to?
No, I actually love her.
He's not going to kill her.
Your guards aren't going to kill her, are they?
No.
No harm's going to come to her, right?
No.
Okay.
I want us to work together.
I would like that.
You
And
would.
I hope my voice gets better so it doesn't annoy you as much.
I can move past that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. What you have is a gift. And us working together can benefit us a great deal.
I agree.
So, you will not use your unnatural ability to change into Beatrix until I say.
Okay.
Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
So, what is this about the council? You want Beatrix to attend the council?
She will sleep with me and she will teach me more about this spirit that she... I don't know. She talked about everyone having this one god and it's the spirit and... I don't know. I wasn't paying attention a ton, but if I want to find more information...
For this to work,
Yes.
you need to pay attention.
Okay. Well, I was paying attention, but I didn't get it.
So
'Cause
what
I'm
did-
He
not
was paying attention to her chest, is the thing.
So what did
Even
she
breath.
say?
She just said she wanted to be present at the council meeting.
Okay.
And if she is, then I will get to sleep with her, which means I can turn into her a second time. And I will also start being able to understand more about how hopefully she got through the blight, which will help all of us, right?
That's the plan.
Yes, exactly.
I think he's had just about enough of this circular conversation. Okay. So are you asking permission to bring her?
Not for me to bring her, just for her to show up. You can send your own guards to bring her if you want.
No, they have better things to do.
Okay. I can just tell her to show up.
Why don't you escort her?
Okay. I can do that.
She's your responsibility.
Okay.
I was wondering how this was going to play out.
I like that.
So I'm still What about Auntie Hilda? I'm supposed to be going with her. So is this now a threesome?
About Auntie Hilda.
Hmm?
I said about Auntie Hilda.
Yes.
When you see me after the council,
Yes.
I want you to tell me everything she's up to, along with your cousin.
If I find anything out, I'll tell you. I'll ask. I don't know if they're going to tell me anything, but I'll try and find out.
What are you going to
I
ask?
will find out
What are you going to ask?
what they're doing, what jobs they're doing, what they're doing with their in around town.
Sure.
What else do you want to know?
Just leave.
Okay. Good. Thank you. I'll be off now. In the interest of my own voice, that would be going back to,
Yeah, you don't need to roleplay anything else.
yeah, I'd be going back to her and telling her that she's able to go, sleep with her.
Yeah, I presume that there's some sort of...
The other question I was going to ask, which is one of the reasons I had, it was a direct question of, how did you get through the blight?
Yeah, she's not going to divulge that.
Okay.
What she's going to do, I assume we're just like narrating this.
Yeah, go for it.
You just move into Beatrix's.
Next scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after I get done with you, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So what Beatrix will tell you before / during / after is that communion with it is not some passive, not some prayer to a dead god who you could only view through indirect actions, which are more likely rationalizations than actual, like, divine movement of the world. Which is to say, that's how Beatrix explains how most religions work. Is that most people don't really follow something as powerful and tangible as it. Beatrix tells you that most religions, like, they have their gods, but really those are just people looking into something that isn't really there. Beatrix tells you that that what it is that it provides real, tangible, concrete changes, manifestations to the world. And she'll, like, point out the way that you healed her as a specific example.
Okay.
And she'll tell you that that is what the power of it can provide, and that your devotion to it will manifest itself proportionally.
Okay.
So that's what you'll learn from
Okay.
the discussions with.
And before I forget that, at some point I would tell Torin that as well, too.
Okay.
And he's going to go to sleep now.
All right, so is there anything else we want to accomplish tonight? Because it is 10:48 currently.
I mean, assuming that Beatrix got some sort of either, I don't know if she'd get a note from Torin, like, independently, that, like...
No, I think the intention was
Yeah,
that,
I would have told you that I have him escorting you.
Yeah.
Right, but I guess the point would be, like, how could Beatrix, like, trust that
That's not Torin's problem.
Well, no, I know it's not your... I'm sorry, I'm looking at you, but,
Yeah.
like... Well, I guess I'm looking at you because, like, what gesture or, like, demonstration would you have passed on to Gozar that would persuade Beatrix that, like, he wasn't just, like, lying baldly to her face?
So, I think you said in the previous session that invitations were sent out or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd
So,
say so.
I think
there are standing
think
members who attend
as-
council meetings, so they get...
as he leaves, I mentioned to his escort that he'll have a +1 right, and to sort it out.
Okay, so that he
So-
gets an additional +1.
So that sort of, covers either like a formal thing or whatever he works out.
Okay. So I get the
Yeah.
sub invitation that says like you are the +1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
It's fine.
Okay, that's fine. I think that if Beatrix hadn't heard from either Ivor or what's her name? Bridget. She might have looked to try
Quick
and
footsteps.
provide some sort of
Okay, let's say that day, Ivor shows up. And he has a locket in hand, the locket that was described.
yeah.
And he's not comporting himself the way you expect, because you saw him before. He was very hostile, very aggressive, and now he's very demure and reserved. And he says, so here's the locket you were looking for. No charge. I've been told no charge for that. I've also been asked to tell you that there was an agreed upon charge for your continued operations, and that fee has been waived. I don't know what that means, but I was told you would know.
Oh, well, thank you, dear Ivor. I'm humbled and grateful of your delivery of this brooch. I can't help but wonder, and forgive my innate curiosity, who told you of this supposed fee?
I'm not sure I should say, but my boss told me.
Oh, here's the thing. It's very important to me that I be in a position to thank whatever parties are responsible for the generosity that they have demonstrated through yourself. And I would like to, at some point, thank you personally for delivering this. It may seem like a small deal for you, but I'm sure for the young lady for whom this brooch is meant, I'm sure it will mean a great deal, and I would like to pay upon her behalf. So it's just my personal recollection. If I don't know who paid for that particular deed, then I cannot thank them personally. So I must unfortunately ask again. And I cannot do anything for them if I don't know who they are.
Well, and he sort of just nervously scratches the back of his neck. Well, my boss, she was here a couple of days ago. She might have had some friends that were a little over enthusiastic.
Oh, yes. You see, well, I am rather new here, so you'll forgive me if I'm. There are so many people who are interested in just what Sisterhood presents, and I'm not a bookkeeping sort. It can be rather troublesome.
God damn it, lady. Okay. Looks around to make sure that nobody's listening. It's Nefarious.
Oh, well, that is good to know, because here's the thing. I was rather not not scared because this particular vessel is of relatively no importance to it. But you see, the natural instinct of this body was to concern itself with its own preservation, and without knowing the details, that initial meeting with Miss Nefaria and her associates, excuse me, with the generous benefactor in question and her associates. Well, it provided a little fright to this body, and that particular body may have gone to the
Wait,
to some
whose body?
This one, and she'll point to herself.
He cranes around your shoulder to see if there's another body behind
She'll
him.
open her robes and point to her chest.
Oh.
Yeah, that one.
That body.
That one, yes.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
Yes, about that. So, here's the problem. So, this
Yeah, he goes full Beavis and Butt right there.
yeah, exactly. This body, and she'll emphasize by pointing at her chest. This particular body was concerned that more harm might have been delivered upon her, so she used some references that she might have come into contact with to deliver some news that may not have been as generous to the benefactor in question. What I'm saying is, perhaps, that the benefactor, the person who is providing this particular service that you are providing to me free of charge, might want to lay low for a while and perhaps offer up some sacrificial lambs to demonstrate that my word is still good, and that she will not be looked after, or she will not be that the search for her may not be as thorough as it might be if no one was found.
So, who's searching for her?
People who have quite a great deal of and she'll reach forward and she'll squeeze his bicep as a way to kind of flatter him. It's muscle.
No, my friend's not looking for her.
I know they are not, and I'm sure if they were, then they would have no trouble in finding her. But there were others with and is he armed?
Yeah.
She'll point to his weapons, with that, and quite a great deal more. And they often will come in uniforms.
She's not in the army.
I know she's not, but there will now be people looking for her who do have uniforms.
Why does the army want her?
Well, you see, I have connections. And, well, as I mentioned, this body, and she'll open her robes again. Yes, this body was particularly frightened at the prospect of being overpowered by her and her associates. And so
That sounds hot.
You and I can discuss that. And if you would like to indulge in that particular interest, we can certainly do that after we finish this discussion.
That sounds great, but I'm confused.
Yes, so here's the thing. I will make this much more simple. Your boss is going to be fucking pulverized unless she puts up a few people who can be sacrificed to make it look as though the authorities have gotten what they expect to get.
Who's gonna pulverize her?
Those whom this body went to when she was frightened.
Your husband?
No, someone who has more of those available. And she'll again point to his weapon.
Your brother who's in the army?
Let's call them a brother in arms.
My brother?
Not your brother, not necessarily my brother, but a brother who has a lot of weapons.
Whose brother?
I don't know if they have a sibling. I can ask it the next time I meet them.
Then why is he a brother?
He's a metaphorical brother.
A what now?
Someone with whom this body shares.
Okay, I gotta step out of the roleplay for a sec. You're not getting through to him with
Yeah.
innuendo.
Yeah. Let me put it another way. If you don't convey the message that your boss needs to personally keep out of sight, then she is going to be arrested and likely executed. But
What, by the stars?
by the powers that be.
Which powers? The stars?
Let me ask you another question. Who has access to military power in this city?
The stars and Lord Torin.
Okay, so it's a short list.
Yes.
So use your judgment and think who might be interested in arresting and executing your boss.
The
Someone-
stars?
I will take your judgment. My point is that they are powerful, and as of now, they are going after your boss. And so, my message to your boss is, if she does not wish to be arrested and executed, she, personally, will lay low. And if she wants the military powers that have that kind of power to not capture her, she will make it look as though they did get the ringleader. Now, would you like to continue this discussion, or would you like to indulge in the more interesting conversation that we just let loose?
What?
Would you like to see more of what is on offer? And she'll open her chest, and he'll open her robes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He accepts.
Okay. So, I'm going to take +1 forward with Ivor. And I have the brooch.
Alright, let's leave off there. Torin, was
Yep.
there anything else you wanted to accomplish before the council?
Sheesh. So, yeah. Well, not really. Sort of not out of game, but in game. Like, who is on the council?
Okay, so of established characters,
Yeah.
You're on there. Your cousin Roderick is on there as a
The finance
as a
guy.
as a finance person, as well as a representative of House Baleford. Angus is there as representative of the military.
Yeah.
All of the major houses in the city, including House Thornberry, are there. The Stars are there, and there are several merchant guilds there. Merchant and trade guilds.
Okay. Remind me about House Belford. Yeah, we haven't gone to Belford, right?
It's your house.
Right.
Jesus Christ, I'm not editing that either.
Don't use Belford. I just made it up once. I don't remember.
Write it on
It's
your
now
sheet near
canon.
the top.
It's canon.
That's right there. Sorry, I spelled it differently.
How did you spell it?
That one was an I. This was with an A-L-E. Sorry.
I didn't spell it either. You chose the most
I got
spelling.
confused.
Man, it's a wonder that the Reach is in such trouble.
How did it ever get this way? With such a steady hand on the tiller. Alright, so end of session stuff. I assume, Matt, you marked your experience for the move there. With the Persuade with Leverage, right?
Yeah.
And everybody who failed a roll, including Josh, that's... Yeah.
Failed. That one was hard. That one felt bad.
Yeah, that sucks. But you got the experience from that.
So I have 2 experience points.
Did anybody meet their entanglements this session?
So I picked give a command to a jealous rival or insubordinate subject to humiliate them. I have. I don't think I did that.
No.
Not this round.
Grow your infamy through a public display of your frightened power. It wasn't public, is the problem. But I did it in front of him and some prisoners.
You know what? That's a major character you showed it off to, so I'm going to call that public.
I had
What do I get for hitting an entanglement?
1 experience.
Oh, another experience.
Yeah.
I had openly denounced someone powerful as an enemy of it to their face or in a way that they will hear about.
So no. All right, and who used honor moves?
I
you
did.
guys?
I counted that.
Okay. All right.
Didn't do me any fucking good.
Hey, you know.
Hey, my next advancement move, I'm taking another +1 Wily because I just keep using it.
Yep.
I keep fucking failing at it. So
You could just magic people. You don't necessarily need to persuade them. You
no,
can
I
just
know,
magic
but
the
like
fuck
I
out
was
of
I
them.
was like looking through like all the books and like there's so many moves that are Wily dependent and it's not like I want it to work.
All right. So I'm going to read off the pluses to honor here, and you mark them down if you think you met them. Tangibly advance the interests, agenda, or standing of your faction. Made a new connection with someone who you may find useful or desirable. Demonstrated your power, talent, wisdom, or skill to others. Spread rumors, secrets, or information to those who need or want it.
I definitely have to use the power thing.
Yep. And I think you did a lot of work on the agenda of your
Yeah,
faction.
I would say so.
Like, because everything you were doing was for them. You weren't,
Yeah.
like, pursuing selfish goals there.
Yeah.
I don't know that you made a new connection.
No.
You did share information, though. So that's 3 altogether.
So that's
So we
3
can
extra
mark
current honor.
Hmm?
So that's 3 more honor.
Yep. So, tangibly advance the interest, agenda, or standing of your faction.
I'm gonna say yes because it told me to find a way onto the council and I did.
Yep.
So that's 1.
Made a new connection with someone who may find you useful or desirable.
I'm kind of undecided on if Ivor counts as this, because when I first met him, he was hostile, but so he's not a new connection, but he now finds me interesting / certainly desirable, whereas he didn't before.
Sure, why not?
Okay, so let's
Demonstrate your power, talent, wisdom, or skill to others. I feel like the big attempt at that sort of blew up in your face.
That did blow up my face, so I think on principle that should be a no.
Spread rumors, secrets, or information about those who need it to those who need it or want it.
I actually think yes, because essentially I told Nefaria through Ivor that she needs to personally lie low and set up a straw man.
Okay.
So I would argue that that's a yes.
Okay. Sorry?
So that's
So first question was
advancing the interests of your faction.
yes. I would
Okay.
say so. Just in conversations with
Mm-hmm.
just moving things forward, getting yes. Number 2.
Made a new connection with someone you may find useful or desirable.
So I mean, it's still the same connection, but realizing that Gozar has this ability and being able to use this, I think that's a new something that can be useful.
All right, I'll allow it. Demonstrate your power, talent, wisdom, or skill to others.
You certainly argued circles around Gozo.
So, I mean, I think
I don't think there were a lot of opportunities for that this time.
I don't think so either. But like power, like yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can say no, but like to say like Gozar stop talking, Gozar follow me, Gozar do this, Gozar come back with me, Gozar tell me this. You know what I mean? Like that's power. So, but like as far as like like standing in front of a like next session would be like in front of a council being like, this is what we're doing, sort of thing. Like if that's your,
That's a much
if
more
that's
tangible
your
example. Yeah.
definition of power. Then I mean, like power is anything.
I think the reason I'd say no to your first.
We'll say big power.
Well, I think the reason I'd say no to your first example isn't because you weren't wielding power over him. It's because that was the norm that you guys had established. You bark orders, and he at least says he's going to try and obey.
Yeah.
So I don't see that as like power that was used to change something. You know.
Yep.
But by that token, wouldn't my essentially demonstration of leverage over Gozo count? Because essentially I demonstrated that I had power insofar as I had a secret that he wanted access to.
Right. That's basically what I'm saying. There's a lot of definitions of power.
Yeah, I think let's
So,
stick to the big.
Let's just
let's
say
stick
big
to
power.
really flexing your
Yeah.
muscles
Yeah,
there
yeah,
for
yeah.
these.
That's fine. That makes it simple.
Spread rumors, secrets,
Yes.
or information. Yeah.
With Antonio, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So true.
All right, and for the negatives, let me know if you hit any of these. Were publicly humiliated, repudiated, or shown to be weak.
Yep.
Went back on your word or betrayed someone. Acted against your faction. Yeah. You had,
I
you had-
lost one.
Yep, you had that bad time
More
right
public
at the beginning.
humiliation. Fuck.
Yeah, it's been a bad run.
I'm the worst
So
missionary
I
ever.
really need to use fucking honor moves next.
You
session.
remember your
So
last
on the
name?
betrayed someone, because there is one more thing I would want to do is I would tell Auntie Hilda that basically the king wants to know everything about her, because obviously family first. Would that be betraying the king since he doesn't know about it?
Well, I don't know about you,
No.
but I
Well,
mean,
it's betraying your faction, right?
It doesn't specifically say, but like if your choice is between betraying one person or another, and you have loyalty to your faction, I think that means you did okay, because that's what you're supposed to do in that
Yeah.
situation.
yeah, I was going to say, I
that's
mean,
the public understanding of what loyalty means.
Just so when Hilda goes into the council, she knows kind of what the king is expecting of him.
I was going to say, I mean, calling, your wonderful communion with it, spiritual mumbo jumbo. I mean, I don't know about you, but that sounds like betrayal to me.
It only sounds that way to you.
Well, that's
all
that Beatrix cares about.
Here's your pen.
You better give me my pen back. Alright. Let's stop it there.
Leaving open my eldest daughter to do the hair. Not the hair. The hair.
The royal hair.
The royal hair.
The wig of power!